So when it was first announced, it was actually announced that we were going to Tanzania, which I find really funny. And then I remember Brittany came in the next week, and I was like, Brittany, we're going to Tanzania. And she was like, no, we're going to Zambia. And I was like, okay.
Africa, I mean, it's super cool.
Something like clicked in my brain where I was just like, I'm going on that trip.
No one thinks of Zambia, Africa in a tiny village.
There wasn't ever really a question if I was going or not.
It was amazing. Even just getting there, seeing the sunset, like everything, all of God's creation there. It was so amazing getting to see that and getting to see the people, the joy they had.
They received us like we were family.
All these kids with like nothing compared to us. And they were just running around with like smiles on their faces, not a care in the world.
You drive down a dirt road in Zambia and you see a house that is one room for like 6 people. And I think they just make something out of everything they have.
One day we were going to evangelize and we visited this lady, and Anna shared her testimony, and the lady decided right then and there, her name was Dorothy, she decided right then and there that she was going to accept Christ. And we later learned that Dorothy had moved to that village the day before we visited her. So I thought that was like a crazy God moment, that she was there right at the perfect time, and then we were there at the right perfect time.
So I went up to Chris and I made a side remark about like preaching that night, sort of a joke, and he was like, okay, so why don't you do it? And I was like, what? I thought about it probably for like 10 minutes, then I was like, okay, I'll do it. The Holy Spirit used that explanation to lead to 2 girls coming up and giving their life to Christ that night. It just showed me the power of the Holy Spirit, because it really shows that He has no limits. No language can be the limit to reach people with the word.
I got to sit next to this guy named Calvin, and it was really cool just to be able to talk to him and guide him through the sermon. At the end, Chris challenged everyone that if they feel led and if they feel called to accept Jesus into their life, to please stand. And in that orphanage, Calvin was the only person to stand up.
Everywhere we went in Zambia, God was working and God was moving. We saw like so many kids come to Christ or recommit their lives to Christ. It was like something that I have never seen.
There was like an overwhelming feeling in my heart.
I did not want to go home. I would have just stayed and lived there if I could have. It also just reminded me that no matter where I'm living, whether it's here or in another country, I'm a missionary right there.
I bring home the fact that they always had a smile, and I think that's where the joy comes from. If you're very appreciative of what you have and you acknowledge that, yeah, I'm very spoiled, I think joyfulness comes.
The 2 takeaways I feel like I'm gonna take away from this trip are peace and joy. The culture there is really based around singing and dancing. Countless times throughout that trip, there were just examples of God being shown glory through the way they worship.